Whoa, glad I turned on this thing or else I wouldn't have known it was daylight. It's 6:30, 6:30. And I'm feeling pretty good, guys. I mean, I'm starting to work again, and I go through these droughts sometimes. I was starting to feel a drought. Actually, this is a lot longer than a drought. And I'm slowly, I don't know how to say it. You ever get where, I mean, I've done so much sometimes that sometimes I get way ahead of myself, and then and you change internally. I mean, the stuff that I do, I always have this joke that I say, I once I finish with this, I will have become intelligent. When I'm done with this, I shall be intelligent. That's what studying is like. You know, you change. When you read anything, you become that. You know, you start to adjust it. And so sometimes I'm like studying so long and so intensely that I've changed and I don't really know exactly how. It's like, you know, you take a superpower pill and then like waiting to see like what's gonna happen. You know, it's like you know, it's like you gotta wait a few minutes to see what's gonna go on. Like you take the mushroom or the blue pill or the red pill. So so sometimes I get so far ahead of myself that I kind of don't know where I'm at, and so the rest of me have to catch up to me, to the new me, so to speak. And so that's what I've kind of been going through, and it's been kind of tough. Been kind of tough, but I'm getting to where okay, you know. And then right now I'm dealing with something that I studied a long time ago. But anyway, that's not what I was going to blog about. What I was going to blog about, you ever see these things that we get the lessons for and we kind of ignore it? I was ever remember the Star Trek issues where, you know, you would have an exact clone of Captain Kirk and and you have two of them and they are fighting and you don't know which is which. They actually did it in Mutants too. It's like they were fighting and you just didn't know which one was which. And so the one person has to shoot one of them and you don't know which one is which. You know, that's what it's like dealing with some people. And the first thing the bad guy does is says, no, he's the one shooting, killing, you know, because they're the trickster, right? You're the bad guy. You're the bad guy. You're the trickster. You're the evil one. And they're really the evil one in disguise. I'm just saying, theoretically, you know, bear with me. You know, because they're the first one that says, Bones, shooting, you know, and you know that's not really the captain because the captain isn't a murderer. And so he'll say, set your phaser to stun, you know, if it was the captain, you know. But the real enemy, the murderer, the bad guy, will be like, you know, no, shooting, killing, you know, get rid of him. That's kind of like what I've you know, getting in discussions, and you want to talk about this whole moral issue and homosexuals or good or wrong or stuff like that. You know, the first thing what they want to do is say, you're a bigot, you're a bigot. Now, you notice that when black people had to come through civil rights, a real civil rights. They're actual, you know, being a human being, you know, you know, actual being a human being. Like, you know, if gays never get married and never have children, they will never, you know, it's not going to affect them. You know, they can't have kids anyway. You know, them not getting married will not affect them having kids. They can't reproduce anyhow. So the fact that they get married, that's just an issue. They're just, I just want it because I want it, you know, kind of thing. And so they want it, and they don't really care about anything else. It's just it's just, you know, I just want it, and it doesn't matter that it's wrong or anything like that. None of that matters. But this is what would get me. It's like black people, when they went through the civil rights, okay, it wasn't, you know, the more modern black, you know, when people came politically correct, then it was like, okay, calling somebody a bigot meant something. But back when civil rights, when you were getting your head busted, you know, understanding that you was a bigot, you know, that was pretty much understood if you were getting a beat down. You know, you didn't have to call somebody a bigot at that point. It wasn't, you know. So what I'm saying is okay. So now what they're doing is like, oh, you're a bigot. You know, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. Get him, shoot him. You know, it's really pointing a finger, and what made me think about it is like, you know, now the word bigot means something, and so now you could go and call somebody a bigot, and this is the other thing is, okay, you call somebody a bigot, but then you also say, oh, you just think you're great, you just think you're better than somebody. Christians know that they're sinners, okay? They know that, and they know everybody else is a sinner. The problem is you're saying that sin is not a sin, and that's a lie. You know, that's a lie on the truth. And so when you go around changing the truth, you know, that's the problem. That's the problem I have. I don't care who anybody who has sex with. I really don't care about somebody trying to raise some children. I don't think that they should promote it because it's just a natural law of nature. Okay? That they can't have it. You know, therefore, why get married? Because you can't have children anyway. You know, you're with the one you say you love anyway because you're with them. You know, if you're with them, then what the hell is? Ain't nobody who's ever been married said, "Oh, if I can't marry." Marriage usually meant back in the day that unless you were married, you couldn't be with the one you love. That's not the case now. See what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of stuff that is just twisted up. And you know what? When Martin Luther King, who was a Christian, okay, don't get it twisted. You know, and as long as he's a Christian, that meant the Bible. And as long as the Bible states what's sin and what's not, you know, anybody who's a Christian, it will not dispute that. And so, you know, the problem becomes not with the Christian, it becomes with God. Okay, and what God said, you know, Christians don't like the fact that you can't fornicate. You know, that's not something we're happy about. You know, but it's understanding that, you know, Christians ain't happy that you can't, you know, you ain't supposed to adulterate. You know, you're not supposed to commit adultery. So we're not happy about that either. But the basis, what I'm saying is that, you know, gays have latched on to the civil rights and the fight of Christian civil rights leaders, but haven't accepted what was their motivation and gave them the triumph. It's just call you a bigot without actually having any love in your heart. You know, black people could sit there and take bricks and stuff like that because they were loving God, you know. Now, I'm talking about crowds of black people. I mean, for ages, decades, there was like swarm on a camp of black people. So, to take all the superficial parts of the struggle and then attach that and use those as weapons by just calling somebody else a bigot, and you're the one that ain't got no love in your heart. You the one that aren't willing to accept some of the things that set the things that God laid it down in the first place. Accept righteousness, accept those things. It's just that's my point about that. So, I mean, it's just really bad. Like, they could point everybody call and accept all the things of the black struggle and civil rights, but not really accept the real undercurrent or the motivation or the morality or the righteousness or the holiness behind it. You just take the outer edge. No, shoot him. He's the enemy. He's the enemy. God bless you all. Love you all.